Hey everybody, welcome to TCM. We turned 25 years old this month, so 25 fans are joining us to celebrate movies that mean something to them. Each of them is dedicating the movie to someone important to them. Moe Resner is here. Each of these fans sent in a video. Moe, tell me a little about your video.
The video was, of course, centered about Ginger Rogers.
Yeah.
And I would dedicate the movie to her, but it's very strange because she's not around. And so my dedication was really to TCM. I've got my scrapbooks, letters from her. It was an unusual relationship.
It sounds like an unusual relationship. How do you have a relationship with Ginger Rogers so that you feel comfortable dedicating a movie to her and to us, which, by the way, thank you for.
Yeah, definitely. I was 11 years old. My mother took me to the movies, and we saw Ginger Rogers in The Major and the Minor.
Right, with Ray Milland.
I fell in love with her.
Yeah.
I went home and I wrote her a love letter. Must have been 10 pages. And she didn't answer. But RKO Pictures answered with a postcard, which I still have. Send us 15 cents for a 5x7 photo. So my mother sent it. I was a little angry that she didn't answer my letter.
Right.
But I got over that.
Yeah, all right.
And I watched the movies, year after year. And now, 30 years later, a friend of mine who ran a magazine.
So this is like late 60s.
Yeah, late 60s, 1966. He said, could you go to the St. James Theater for me? I can't go. And take some snapshots of Ginger Rogers so I can use it for my magazine.
She was doing a play.
Hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
She succeeded Carol Channing. So I said, you're asking me to go? I'm going. Stay home, I'm going. And on my way to the St. James Theater, I said to myself, don't make a fool of yourself.
Sure.
Take the pictures and go. So they let me in, and she said, yes, I'm Ginger Rogers. And I said, well, I'm Moe
Did you
Resner.
tell me how you found her? You just go up to her dressing room? What's the?
Oh, they knew that pictures were being taken.
I got you. All right.
So they chose me, and she introduced herself. She says, just sit for a while, I want to change.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, oh, great. And I saw that she was very friendly. And then she said, are you sure you have film in your camera? So I said, absolutely. So I said to her, I got something to tell you. And she came out and she says, please, what is it? I said, well, I might as well tell you that I wrote you a love letter when I was 11 years old and you didn't answer. And I've got your photograph. It cost me 15 cents. It wasn't even a real autograph. So she says, really? I said, so she says, do you still have the photograph? I said, it's hanging on my wall.
What do you mean I still have it? Yeah, I look
She
at it
says,
every day. Yeah.
Take it off the wall and come back to the theater tomorrow night and I will sign it for real. So they let me in and she signed it and she asked me a lot of questions. After that, I must have seen the picture play 10 more times. We went out to dinner together. We became friends for 30 years.
What was she? So I mean, there aren't a lot of stars who would meet a fan who'd been a fan when they were 11.
Yeah.
And then really legitimately, you had a legitimate connection to her.
Yeah, so I met her when I was about 30, and she was always 20 years older.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't change. You
Yeah,
can't
that
catch up.
doesn't change.
Yeah, yeah.
When she closed, so during her run, she knew I was a comedian, and I wrote my stuff. So she says, could you write me something I can talk to the audience after the show? I want to make a personal announcement. So I wrote it for her. She said, this is great. She got on the stage, did the play, Hello, Dolly, and she froze. And she couldn't do her lines, my lines.
After the play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, thank you, and I love you all, good night. She came backstage crying in my arms. She says, I forgot my lines. I said, Ginger, please, don't worry about it. She says, you've flubbed lines before. I said, yeah, but I did it with Fred Astaire and everybody else. We had a lot of takes. There was no take. I said, look, you'll do it right tomorrow night. We went out to dinner. We went out quite frequently. It was a great thing.
Did she ever deliver your lines correctly?
Yeah. Oh, she did them for the rest of the run. And her last night, they gave her a party. And at the party, I don't remember if Carol Channing was there, but Martha Ray was, because Martha succeeded her. And I was dancing with Ginger.
Ah, look at you.
And being an ad-lib comedian, I said, Ginger, I said, when you made your movies, was it a guy with like Fred Astaire or somebody like that? So she started to laugh. She looked at me. She says, Moe, he's got nothing on you. And that was such a great thing.
Did she talk about Astaire at all?
Very little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
As a matter
clearly
of fact, they went out twice together, I think, in the whole.
Yeah, they had a strictly professional relationship.
But I beat him out.
You beat
I had more dinners with her than he did.
You probably got more legit dances by choice than he did. Yeah. Well, that's lovely. You the movie you chose, and not The Major and the Minor, you chose Kitty Foyle.
Kitty Foyle, because she was herself.
Yeah.
And she was wonderful in it.
Yeah, the movie that really told people that she could stand as a dramatic actress without Astaire, and she won the Best Actress Academy Award.
There's a few things that happened during my lifetime with her. I asked her to be my godmother of my child, and she agreed and then changed her mind later. She says, I travel all over the world. I wouldn't be a real... And I accepted it, but I wasn't forceful enough. I know what I should have said. You lost your mother. You had no brothers. You had no sisters. You had nobody. You have no cousins. Please join our family. She would have, but I was too timid.
Right, yeah.
I just couldn't do it.
Well, that's nice that she accepted it first. Yeah.
Yeah. A few times she traveled, I was with her. Her last appearance was in Toronto. They gave her a big award. And she had an accident. She was in a wheelchair by then. And I'd go around with her. It was a wonderful experience.
She means something to you.
Yeah. She still does.
Yeah.
I've got the letters. I brought some letters here. I got photographs of together and all her other photographs.
Were you a good dancer because you were a ball player?
I was an ad-lib dancer. When I performed, I had a singer with me. We were a team together, and I would fool around and dance, and I ad-libbed it, and I was very agile.
Yeah.
And I still am.
Yeah. So
but I could still run to first base in 7 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems quick. You're 88 years old.
88 next month.
Yeah.
I just feel like I can do everything,
Yeah. I still think I could beat you in a race. I'm just saying, I'm 37 years younger than you, but I bet I could take you. All right, Moe, thanks very much. We'll talk a little more after the movie.
Absolutely.
But for now, here it is, starring Moe's good pal, Ginger Rogers. This is Kitty Foyle. Hi, everybody. I'm back here with Moe Resner. He picked Kitty Foyle, one of our 25 fans, for our 25th anniversary. So you developed this friendship starting in the late 60s with Ginger Rogers that lasted the rest of her life.
Yes.
Were you married during this time, Moe?
I was, when I met her, I was in between marriages, but I got married after that.
Did you ever have a wife jealous of your relationship with Ginger Rogers?
On occasion. On occasion. But I can't describe it. I was really in love with Ginger.
Yeah, from the time you were a little boy.
Yeah.
And really then for her whole life.
Yeah. And now we dated, and as a friend. We dated because she was married to Bill Marshall at the time, who was not the friendliest guy in the world, but he liked me, and he wrote a book, and he gave me the book, and they were divorced later on.
But your relationship with Ginger Rogers, now I feel like I need to have some clarity. It was a friend's relationship, only platonic.
Relationship.
All right.
That's all it was.
No romance with Ginger Rogers.
No romance.
All right. Just checking.
Right.
You were a semi-pro baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a coach in the majors?
Coach in the minor leagues.
Minor leagues.
For the Montreal Expos.
Ah, the old Expos, now the Nationals.
Triple A, double A, single A teams.
Yeah. What kind of life is that, being a minor league baseball coach?
It was great.
Big money, right? Minor league baseball coach?
I think I made $60 a month.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, you could barely spend it. Yeah.
They wanted me to be a scout, which I was for a while, but unofficially.
Yeah.
But I met great friends. Jim Fanning was.
Mm-hmm.
There was a book written about me and Jim Fanning.
Who's the best ball player you ever saw come up during your time as a coach?
There were so many of them. I have my favorite players.
Go ahead, let me have those.
Phil Cavaretta was batting champion in 1945.
All right, yeah.
And several others. I just froze. How do you like that? I forgot everything.
Think of a ball, give me one ball player who became a star that you saw.
Ernie Banks.
So say it again.
Ernie Banks was just about my favorite.
Did you coach Ernie Banks at all?
No,
but
I never coached in the minor league. I never coached in the major leagues.
Right.
I did get to know some of the minor league players who made it to the majors.
Yeah, that's what
And I'm friendly with them now to this day.
Any of them who became significant players?
Yeah. Ernie Broglio.
Oh, Ernie Broglio, yeah.
He was a pitcher for the Cardinals.
He was traded for Lou Brock.
Lou Brock.
One of the worst trades in baseball history.
Yeah. But I got to know Ernie very well in the minor leagues. To this day, we talk. He lives in California, so I know Ernie Broglio. Joe Malfitano was with the New York Giants.
Yeah, and a manager later, yeah.
And so the relationships are still there. I'm very friendly, strangely enough, with the Giants ownership.
Oh, was that right?
Larry Bear.
Larry Bear, yeah.
He became a nice friend, and they honored me at AT&T Park.
They did?
As a Cub fan in 2012 because I had made a DVD of the old Polo Grounds.
How do you get to be, how do you grow up in the Bronx, for crying out loud, in the heyday of the Yankees, and become a Cubs fan?
Good question. A friend of mine who was older in the neighborhood said, forget about the Dodgers, Yankees, and Dodgers, be a Cub fan. So I said, why? He says, well, I'm telling you, they're really great. So I'm taking you to the Polo Grounds. I was about 12. And I caught a foul ball. Cubs were beating the life out of the Giants. I caught a foul ball from the manager, from the coach. Come on, Mo, from the shortstop. Mm. His name was Len Marullo, who nobody knows. And I caught the foul ball, and I said, I'm going to be a Cub fan.
Right.
Okay. This is another Ginger Rogers story. 30 years later, I met that shortstop, Len Marullo. We became the best of friends.
Really?
And he died at 98 before he was honored at Wrigley Field a few years before me. So Len Marullo was...
Len Marullo got you to be a Cubs fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that story. That's good. And then the Cubs, as soon as you started being a fan, they just kept winning World Series after World Series.
I waited 71 years before they won.
71 years. They finally came through for you.
And I met the Jed Hoyer, who's a...
Yeah, right. Sure.
We became friends. He says, I want you to throw out the first ball. We're honored to have you. So I said, I'll do it, but I'm a ball player.
Right.
I'm not going out in civilian clothes. He says, do whatever you want.
You gave me this card. This is the card of Moe Resner throwing out the first pitch at Wrigley Field. It's nice looking, yeah. And you're telling me you got it all the way to home plate?
I can do it now.
All right, Mo. Thanks very much.
No, that's my pleasure.
This was great stuff. I appreciate it, Mo. Thanks for the card. Thanks for the stories.
Okay.
I appreciate it.